Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric here with Moss Pawn & Gun. Today we've got another body armor review that we're going to be doing here for you today. Really more of a torture test. We've worked with Spartan Armor before on a couple of his offerings. Today we're going to be shooting the Level 3 Plus AR 550 Advanced Triple Curve Plate. He's got a really interesting process he uses for putting those bends in this plate to make it much more ergonomic when it fits on your body. Also, this is going to be an excellent test of his anti-spalling coating that he puts on these, which in previous videos we've seen has worked extremely well. We have done some shotgun work with armor in the past, but today we're going to be using some shotgun ammunition against his plates. We're going to be having some offerings from Federal, from Brenneke, also a company called Wolf Hill. You may not be familiar with them. They produce a lot of exotic shotgun ammo that really just fills a very specific niche in the market. Everything from like Dragon's Breath, Bolo rounds. Look them up if you're not familiar with them. But we're going to go ahead and suit up Ballistic Bob in our mil-spec carrier here with a couple of the plates. And let's just show some kinetic energy transfer. We know none of these shotgun rounds are going to penetrate through the armor, but we want to show what it looks like to get shot wearing body armor with a shotgun, because that's the question we get from you guys all the time. So let's get after it. The shotgun we're going to be running today is a Remington Versa Max. This particular one is set up for competition. It's been upgraded with a Mesa Tactical pistol grip stock. We've also got a Nordic components extension and a barrel clamp. This gun's pretty awesome. It's essentially a Benelli M4 at heart in terms of how it operates and the overall feel of the gun. The first round that we're going to shoot is a 1 ounce tactical Federal true ball slug moving 1,600 feet per second. This is their tactical line of ammo. We're going to run it here. What we're wanting to show is how hard your body gets hit when you're wearing body armor with a shotgun. And guys, this is worst case scenario, okay? You turn a corner and there's a dude pointing a shotgun at you from about 7 yards away. This is pretty worst case scenario. So if Ballistic Bob can survive and those slugs can get ate up by that plate, then it's pretty safe to say you'd survive. But we want to see how hard the body gets hit, because you still have to absorb that energy in your body. So let's have a look. First one's a slug. Let's run it. Wow. I mean, I could literally just about feel that energy transfer from here. And one of the interesting things about energy transfer that you have to remember is the fact that recoil is a form of energy transfer, okay? It's very interesting. I mean, when you're feeling recoil, imagine what your target is feeling. So, interesting. Let's move along. All right, guys, the next round we're going to shoot is a 9-pellet Federal buckshot load that utilizes their flight control wad. And the whole idea is it keeps the pattern extremely tight at close range, and the pattern almost hits like a slug. So that's what I want to see, is if we get slug-like damage, and then the idea is at longer range, it starts to open up and it holds a really tight pattern even at moderate ranges. This particular buckshot loads 9 pellets. It's moving 1325. Let's shoot it. I mean, when you look at the entrance holes in that body armor, they almost look the same. So the first one was a slug, the second one was buckshot. We'll check that out later. That's looking pretty cool. And also the kinetic energy transfer, even for being 1325, you had a little bit slower velocity, but it still put a wallop on that guy. Not bad. All right, moving on to number 3, guys. We got a Brenneke Green Lightning hunting slug. Now guys, this slug is no slouch. It's 1 1/4 ounce and it's moving about 1,500 feet per second. This particular slug is intended for hunting deer and things like that, but boy, it is a jackhammer. Watch this. I mean, I felt the impact of that slug, literally. I'm close enough to my target. I just could really feel the vibration. It's just so crazy how energy transfer really works. It really puts a wallop on things. I mean, shotgun slugs are just one of those things that are truly amazing. Moving along, we're going to get into a couple of the Wolf Hill offerings. The one that we're about to shoot is actually called Ultra Buck. It's moving about 1,200 feet per second. It's 4-aught, 8 pellets at 78 grains apiece. So this round was actually developed for an East Texas rancher that had a really bad feral hog problem. Well, let's see how well the Ultra Buckshot fares against a people problem. I have to admit, that didn't really look quite as diabolical as I expected to see, but we'll kind of let the slow-mo be the judge on that one. All right, out of all of the Wolf Hill offerings that we had to look at, the one that intrigued me the most was their metal piercing incendiary slug. It's a specially treated alloy slug that weighs 500 grains. Not really sure what that entails, but let's have a little shot on this armor here and see what the MPI does from Wolf Hill here. Here we go, right in the center. Wow, that had a strange sound to it. I'm curious to see what happened on the armor. So there's the 5 rounds that we tested. Let's go survey the damage, see what we're looking at here. Well, I think it's safe to say that our Ballistics gel torso is a little bit worse for wear. Probably about time to retire him. This is about the 7th time that I've melted down this particular torso to use for videos, and he's a little bit on the grungy side, but that's all right. Let's see how he fares. All right. He's good, although he's a little bit worse for wear, and my melting job is not exactly the best in the world. All right, we've got a lot of, there's the slug. Look at that, all kind of junk. Look at that. It's all kind of mess falling out of here. Let's see what we ended up getting here. All right. See, there's all your spalling that's caught in the carrier. Okay. None of that made it outside of the carrier. Okay, so the carrier did its job, although it was a little worse for wear to begin with, really. And then we saw that the wadding, look at that. I was able to peel that off a good bit. But you can see that MPI hit on the bottom, and it made a pretty nasty little divot. I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily, you know, feeling it outside on the bottom or anything like that. But all those rounds got caught in a very similar fashion. I think it's pretty safe to say if you're wearing body armor and you get shot with a shotgun, you're going to survive. Okay, now the kinetic energy transfer, again, not going to be fun. Okay, getting shot is getting shot. We know that. Your body still has to absorb that energy. But I'll tell you what if you turn a hallway corner and there's just a ton of dudes, like 2 guys with shotguns loaded up to the brim with slugs, and they open up on you? We'll see what that looks like. You know, I almost hated to waste that armor on this test because that armor can take a lot more abuse than what you saw there, but people always want to see what happens when you get shot with the shotgun wearing armor, so that's why I wanted to show that off. And those rounds are wicked. But what happens when you're not wearing armor and you get shot with a beanbag round? Well, guys, I'm going to show you exactly why. If there's a riot going on or something, you don't want to mess with your local SWAT team if they're using these beanbag rounds. Now, these are also from Wolf Hill. This is their mean beanbag. Here we go. Yeah, that definitely hurt, okay? You don't want to get shot with that. There's probably some of you macho guys out there going, oh yeah, it's just a beanbag. Nah, trust me. You'll see in the slow-mo, that's definitely some energy hitting you. And that's definitely instant compliance right there. So Chad and I are gonna load up, and we're gonna shoot old Ballistic Bob here, send him off with a nice warm load of buckshot and slugs and all random kind of stuff you just saw hit the armor. We're gonna shoot him without armor to show you why you need to wear armor. All right, guys, we're gonna proceed to pelt poor old Ballistics Bob here with pretty much all the ammo we just shot in this video. We're gonna start out with 1 of the Ultra Bucks, followed by 2 MPIs, followed by 2 of the flight control buckshot, followed by 2 Brennekes, and followed by 2 of the 1-ounce Federal. So this is not gonna be pleasant.
We're gonna light him up.
Let's do it. Ready? And 3, 2, 1, go. Man, he is absolutely screwed. Let's go see what happened to poor Bob there. He just didn't deserve that, did he? This is why you want to make sure you're wearing body armor. Now, I know there's a lot of people that would go, oh, well, you know, what if somebody shoots around the body armor? Well, that's not the point. The point is you want that combative edge that's going to give you a chance in a fight. If somebody's shooting stuff at you, you want all the protection you can get.
Pretty much, you're gonna need it. I mean, poor Bob here, I mean, every one of those rounds passed all the way through. Had the Ultra Buck up top. I mean, you know, pretty tight pattern actually. I mean, just for buffered shot.
Yeah.
You know, talking about 4 inches or so at 7 yards. I mean, that's not bad, but every slug just went right on through the federal buckshot. I mean, just a nice, clean, slug-like hole in there, but you got 9 pellets that are going through there. But yeah, that'd be a bad day.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to get shot with a shotgun anytime. I wouldn't want to get shot even wearing body armor, you know, because you still got to absorb that energy somehow. But guys, we appreciate you watching today's video. We've got many more body armor tests on the way, a ton of fun things that we're doing with body armor, probably some stuff with the 50 cal we'll be doing, a couple of other odds and ends, so make sure you're staying tuned. Tons of things coming out on this channel in terms of gun content, so if you're a gun guy, you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe because lots of fun stuff on the way. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed today's video. Have a good one.
Take it easy, guys.